Hey everyone, welcome back to TFacts. Today we've got an exciting roundup of the latest buzz from Below Deck Down Under Season 3. Grab your popcorn, because we're diving into the drama, the conflicts, and the personalities that are heating things up on the high seas. Let's jump right into our first news story. First up, we're discussing Wihan Du Toit's evolving portrayal on the show. Is he truly getting a fair villain edit, or is the reality of his performance reflecting more of the truth? We'll unpack how his leadership style has come under scrutiny as tensions rise among the crew. Next, there's been a heated scene involving Johnny Arvanitis and Wihan Du Toit. Johnny's frustrations have boiled over amidst some unexpected romantic entanglements. We'll explore why Johnny should be taking aim at Wihan and the implications of their rocky relationship. In our third story, we take a closer look at Captain Jason Chambers and the villain edit he seems to be receiving this season. But is this fair? We'll reveal the behind-the-scenes drama that's leading viewers to question the captain's leadership during a turbulent charter season. And finally, we can't ignore Wihan's controversial actions this season that have raised serious questions about consent and professionalism. Is he becoming one of the franchise's worst villains? We'll discuss the worrying patterns we've seen unfold on the show and what this means moving forward. All right, let's dive deeper into our first news story, Wihan Du Toit's evolving portrayal in Below Deck Down Under Season 3. This season, many fans have started to question whether Wihan is truly getting a fair villain edit. Initially, it seemed like the producers were exaggerating his flaws for the sake of drama. However, as the season progresses, it's becoming increasingly clear that the footage tells a different story about his performance as a bosun. Wihan's leadership has come under considerable scrutiny. Viewers have noted that his approach is passive, with inconsistent communication that leaves many of his fellow crew members frustrated. While he might not be the worst crew member we've seen in the franchise, his tendency to coast on the bare minimum is raising eyebrows, especially when the rest of the crew is giving their all. With deckhands like Harry Van Villet and Johnny Arvanitis working overtime, it creates a stark contrast to Wihan's laid-back attitude, almost like he's still on vacation. Leadership on a superyacht isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about guiding the team, setting the tone, and ensuring everyone is on the same page. Unfortunately, Wihan seems to be lacking in these crucial areas. One of the most significant points of contention is his inability to provide clear, actionable tasks. Rather than giving his team straightforward directions, Wihan tends to assign tasks vaguely, leaving his colleagues to interpret what he means. This gap in communication has led to avoidable mishaps on deck, from poorly tied lines to messy setups for water toys. These aren't just isolated incidents, they are symptoms of Wihan's struggle to lead effectively. What's more alarming is Wihan's apparent disinterest during critical moments. While the rest of the crew is focused on delivering guest satisfaction, he often seems mentally checked out, engaging in flirtations or zoning out during crucial tasks. This dichotomy is making it harder for viewers to defend him, even among those who have tried to justify his actions in earlier episodes. While it's clear that Wihan has the skills to be a competent bosun, his inconsistent application of those skills and lack of engagement raise serious concerns. His drift towards paying more attention to personal relationships than professional responsibilities is becoming a pattern that many are finding difficult to overlook. As we move forward in this season of Below Deck Down Under, it begs the question, is Wihan Du Toit truly a misunderstood leader, or is he simply not cut out for the role? The more we see, the more it seems that this season is showcasing a reality that is hard to argue against. Wihan may not just be receiving a villain edit, he may very well embody the characteristics of one. What do you think? Is Wihan the fairest villain of Season 3, or is he showcasing the pitfalls of poor leadership? Let us know your thoughts. Now, let's shift gears and talk about our second news story, the heated tensions between Johnny Arvanitis and Wihan Du Toit. Recently, we witnessed Johnny's frustrations reaching a boiling point, and it's leading many fans to speculate who he should really direct his anger toward. From what we've seen, Johnny's ire seems misplaced. He should be focusing his frustration on Wihan, not Elijah Harris. Throughout the season, Johnny has shown that he's a passionate member of the crew, and this passion took a dramatic turn during a recent episode. The tension escalated after Johnny walked in on a compromising situation involving Wihan and Alicia, his boatmates. Picture this. Johnny comes into the cabin and finds Alicia cuddled up next to Wihan in the bunk, a situation that understandably set him off. The background to this incident is even more intriguing. Wihan had crawled into Johnny's bunk after a long shift, making himself comfortable without considering the potential consequences. Alicia, unaware of who she was cuddling with, assumed it was Johnny when she joined them. When Johnny found them together, his reaction was one of pure shock and, unfortunately, anger, leading him to punch a wall in frustration. What's crucial to note here is the misunderstanding that spiraled out of control. While Alicia did not mean any harm, it was clear that Wihan's decision to stay silent while Alicia cuddled up to him was a misstep, one that put both him and Alicia in a difficult position and pushed Johnny over the edge. This incident reflects the broader issue of how Wihan's actions, or lack thereof, can impact the dynamics on board. Fans of the show are now left debating. Should Johnny focus his frustrations on Alicia, who was clearly caught in a confusing situation, or does the blame lie squarely on Wihan? The drama brings to light the questions of accountability and leadership within the crew. It's becoming increasingly clear that Wihan's personal relationships, and perhaps choices, are causing collateral damage among his team. As we move forward, it will be interesting to see how this situation unfolds and whether Johnny can channel his frustrations more constructively. One thing is certain: the reality aboard the Katina is not just about sailing. It's becoming a tangled web of emotions and miscommunications that future episodes are sure to explore. What are your thoughts on this? Should Johnny be angrier with Wihan instead of Alicia? Let us know in the comments. Next up, let's take a closer look at Captain Jason Chambers and the villain edit he seems to be receiving this season. It's a notable shift for a captain who, in previous seasons, was celebrated for his laid-back and charismatic leadership style. But this time around, the story appears to be much different, and many fans are questioning, is this portrayal of him fair? Early in Season 3, viewers saw Captain Jason navigate some challenging waters, both literally and figuratively. After having to fire Sue's chef Anthony Bird, things quickly escalated. Wihan Du Toit's distractions and romantic escapades have taken precedence over his responsibilities, leading to a series of confrontations with other crew members, including deckhands like Harry Van Villet and Johnny Arvanitis. It's become a chaotic environment aboard the Katina, and Captain Jason is caught in the middle of it all. As the season progresses, Captain Jason's decision-making is under the microscope. There was a particular incident during a luggage task where he butted heads with Stu Marina Marcons de Barros, leading to a power struggle that showcased a side of his leadership that viewers had not seen before. His insistence on micromanaging, even when it seemed unnecessary, sparked conversations about whether he still embodies the relaxed captain we once knew. Producers have been framing this season as a departure from Jason's usual approach, showcasing moments where his authority seems to tip into micromanagement. While some argue that his decisive actions are necessary to maintain order among a continually disintegrating crew dynamic, others question whether this shift is a genuine reflection of his leadership or merely an editing tactic to create drama for viewers. Throughout the season, Captain Jason has also attempted to keep the crew morale high, but moments like his theatrical entrance in a silk kimono during dinner raised eyebrows. While it was intended to be entertaining, some fans found it unprofessional, further clouding his reputation. This juxtaposition of trying to be a fun captain while also dealing with serious issues has contributed to his increasingly villainous portrayal. Beyond this editing, it's essential to recognize that Captain Jason is navigating a ship full of tension, trying to maintain control amid chaos. His efforts to stop the back-and-forth bickering and address the growing divide among the crew are commendable, yet they also seem to be misinterpreted as authoritarian. Ultimately, the question remains, is Captain Jason really the villain of this season, or is he a victim of producer interference? As the episodes unfold, we are left to ponder whether his assertive leadership is a necessary response to the crew's dysfunction, or if it's leading him down a path to becoming the season's scapegoat. What do you think? Is Captain Jason being unfairly portrayed, or does he deserve this villain edit? Share your thoughts in the comments. And finally, We can't overlook Wihan's controversial actions this season that have raised serious questions about consent and professionalism within the crew. As we continue to watch this season unfold, it's becoming increasingly evident that Wihan Du Toit may be establishing himself as one of the franchise's worst villains, and not for the reasons one might hope. From the very start of Season 3, Wihan's behavior has been problematic. Despite being touted as a seasoned yachty, his actions have repeatedly shown a lack of awareness and respect for boundaries. Recent events have raised alarms among viewers, particularly regarding incidents that echo troubling past behaviors seen in the franchise. This season was supposed to be different. Promises were made to enhance crew member safety and address issues of consent, but Wihan's actions have cast doubt on these commitments. A critical moment that showcased Wihan's poor judgment occurred when he crawled into Johnny Arvanitis' bunk after a long shift, only to later find himself in a compromising position with Elijah Harris, who mistakenly believed she was joining Johnny. This scenario seemed to mirror troubling events from previous seasons, creating an unsettling feeling amongst the audience about the treatment of consent as a serious issue. While Wihan may not have had harmful intentions, the simple fact that he chose not to clarify the situation when Elijah crawled in is concerning. His failure to communicate clearly has led many to question his reliability as a leader on board. It raises critical discussions about the responsibility crew members hold for their actions, especially in environments where personal boundaries must be respected. Furthermore, many fans are reflecting on how Wihan's behavior could impact the larger narrative surrounding consent and safety on reality television. Viewers had hoped this season would highlight growth and change, but Wihan's actions seem to contradict that goal, casting a shadow over the entire season. As we progress through Below Deck Down Under, Wihan's choices will undoubtedly continue to spark heated debates. Are we witnessing the rise of a new villain, or is this merely a misunderstanding that could have been avoided? One thing is clear. Wihan's conduct is forcing the franchise to confront its past issues head-on, and how the producers decide to handle this narrative will be essential moving forward. What are your thoughts on Wihan's actions and their implications? Do you think he's becoming a villain in the true sense of the word, or is he just a flawed character trying to find his footing? Let us know your opinions in the comments below.